Helo pawb, fy enw I ydy Seren, my name is Seren, and today I'm going to show you a very simple light up paper lantern workshop. Now, we're going to be making light up paper lantern stars today. These make excellent additional Christmas decorations, or you can even hang them above your bed as a little night light. So, let's get started. Right guys, for this workshop, you're going to need a sharp pair of scissors, a prick stick, a hole puncher if you have one, some wire battery powered fairy lights, and a square piece of paper. You're going to need 2 stars in order to make your lantern, but I'm just going to show you how to make one. When it comes to making your own lantern, make sure that your square pieces of paper are equal. So we're going to start by making the star. You'll fold the piece of paper in half and really crease the edges down. You're then going to take the bottom right corner and fold upwards. And open back up and take the top right corner and fold down. Remember, this video is upside down, so it looks like I'm folding the bottom for you, when in fact it's the top for me. I'm then going to take the bottom left corner here and fold inwards towards my cross, which you should now be able to see. So making sure that the point is touching the centre, and again really crease down the edges, try and get them quite sharp. Now, taking this corner which is touching the centre of my cross, I'm going to fold back on itself and align it with this, so it should start to be looking like that. Again, really crease that down. I'm going to take the bottom right corner again, and now I'm going to fold inwards and align it with here. And really crease down. Once you have this shape, you're then going to flip it over, and using the bottom section here, fold this part over and pressing that down. And your piece should now be looking like this. Now, you're going to take your sharp scissors and you're going to cut from here down to here. When you come to do this, because you'll be making 2, it's really important that when you cut your first triangle out, your first piece out, do not unfold it, make your other star, and when it gets to this stage, measure your cut triangle up against here to make sure it's the same size, and that's how you'll get your stars to be the same shape and the same size. So I'm going to cut from the corner and cut down like this. And when you open up, you should have a 5-pointed star. Now, the next stage is to snip at the insides here, not much, half a centimetre, maybe less, all around your star. And once you've done all those sides, I'm going to use these snips to create tiny little folds. Now these folds are what we're going to use to stick the stars together. If you have a little overlap, such as this, you can just snip it off. So we're going to do that all around the star until each 5-pointed edge of the star has folds on it. There we go. Last one. Press that down, and I'm just going to snip these little edges here, which are overlapping. And the star should be looking like this. The next stage is to only do this for, well, I mean, you can do it for both if you want, but it's quite nice just to have one side of the star which has been hole punched or cut. So if you don't have a hole puncher, take your sharp pair of scissors, and on the edges you can cut tiny little, or large, it's entirely up to you. So let's try a small large one. Diamond shapes. Or if you want, you can cut circular shapes. There we go. Oh, that was not quite even, but that doesn't really matter too much. So that's what you do if you don't have a hole puncher. If you have a hole puncher, you can, easy enough, just feed the star in and punch as many holes as you wish. So you're going to need to make 2 of those. Clear all these bits of paper out the way. Now once you've made 2, should be looking like this. What we're going to do is test that they match in length and size. Yeah, that seems about right. Okay. And I'm going to add a little bit of Pritt stick onto these creases that we have made. Edges, sorry. There we go. Now what I'm going to do is I'm not going to stick all sides down yet. I'm going to leave one open, and I'll tell you the reason for that in a minute. So I've just put glue on 4 of the sides. Get my other star. And line the edges up carefully and sandwich down. And just slowly, doesn't need to be rushed, go around your piece and stick the edges down. you'll start to see a natural 3D effect already taking place. Now it's best to wait for it to dry because you're going to need to sort of play about with it a little bit. So once that's dry, and I've got my open piece here, the side shouldn't come unstuck. And you'll be able to puff out your piece like this. I didn't measure this one too well, as you can see there's a small bit of overlapping, but when the star is dry you'll be able to put a bit of pressure and puff your piece out. So it creates 3D effect, and here I still have my open side. And this is where I fed my lights down into. So you're going to want to unravel your wire fairy lights, which can be a little bit more tricky than said. There we go. Unravel your fairy lights. Find the end if you can. There we go. And you're going to take your star and feed them in. And the fairy lights, as you push them in, will just naturally find their own spaces and shapes, so they'll be evenly spread throughout the star. There we go. And take your time with this. Again, there's no need to rush. Just going to put a little bit more pressure down. There we go. And leave a little bit hanging out. Once everything's inside, you can then glue the last piece down, making sure not to get the fairy lights caught up in it as well. And again, wait for that to dry. Now once that's dry, you'll be able to puff it out again. And it will be a little bit more 3D. Make sure you leave a little piece hanging out, because that is literally just enough. The star is so light to just hang that up anywhere, around a tree branch or above your bed, or anywhere around your house as an extra decoration. You can do them any size, you can do them big, you can do them small, as long as the stars match up. I should have waited for this one to dry a little bit more. There we go. But there we have it. A really simple and effective paper star lantern. I hope you guys really enjoyed that workshop, and I hope you really enjoy making them. Nadolig llawen, Merry Christmas.